The good news is Everton are back. The bad news is it's the Merseyside derby. So first of all, I just want to start this video by apologising for a lack of content over the last week and a half. I've gone back to work, which has been great. I'm very thankful to have a job. I know some of you will or may have lost your job over the last couple of months, and for that I'm sorry, and I really do hope that you find some work soon. But obviously, now no longer being furloughed, I don't have as much time to create content. And also the world got a little bit crazy again, and when the world gets crazy, I don't know, I struggle to talk about football. But as you will most definitely know by now, football returned yesterday. The Premier League actually returned yesterday, to be more specific. There has been football over the past couple of months. We've watched Bundesliga football, we've watched South Korean football. But the Premier League's back, and last night Manchester City ensured that Liverpool are unable to win the Premier League at Goodison Park, which is really good news because the Reds have had to wait 30 years for a title. A long time for one of the world's biggest clubs to go without a league title, but it doesn't matter if there would have been no supporters in the ground or if there were supporters in the ground. It doesn't really matter. The idea of Liverpool winning the Premier League that they are so desperate to get their hands on at Goodison in any circumstances is utterly horrific. I can already see the comments from Reds underneath, oh, you're so bitter, why you arsed, the usual kind of stuff that they say to us. But if they're honest with themselves, I know it's tough sometimes, but if they're honest with themselves, they would appreciate that, of course, you don't want your rivals to win the league at your stadium. It's a horrible thought. It's the equivalent of a footballing nightmare. However, this is going to be a stupidly tough game for Everton. Okay, the playing field has been levelled in the fact that both teams haven't played for so long. But ultimately, Liverpool, it pains me to admit it, but they have a superior football team to us at the moment. They do have better players. Their players are more dangerous. But we're going to be at a real disadvantage at this one because there will be none of us there to support the lads. And, you'll remember last year when Liverpool came to Goodison and we made it hell for them. It was horrible. It was one of the best atmospheres I've ever experienced at Goodison, probably going as far back as when Rooney came back in 2005 in the FA Cup with Man United. They'll think that I'm winding them up by making this statement, but I do sincerely believe this, that some of their stars, some of their lads that they would consider to be superstars, they crumbled that day under that pressure. They fluffed their lines. I'm thinking about Mohamed Salah in particular. These lads that are incredibly talented, but ultimately weren't able to probably deal with the environment that they had to play in. Or at least, that's not taking anything away from the performance of some of our lads that day, because I remember Michael Keane in particular having a pretty sound game. Jordan Pickford pulled off some fantastic saves. But ultimately, it was the crowd, I think, that made it so hard for Liverpool to find their rhythm that day. And on Sunday evening, that isn't going to be a factor. And you've seen studies from Germany that clearly show that the home advantage now is disintegrated. It's almost non-existent. Look, don't believe me. Take a look at this video. It brings back some sweet memories from last season, and remind yourself of just the type of atmosphere that Evertonians created that day. We've got injuries. The likes of Mina and Douth are doubtful. But it looks like Andre Gomez is fit for this one. So that's definitely a plus point for us. But it's really hard to kind of proactively preview this game because for 3 months now, we've had this massive void of no football. And it's quite tough to gauge what kind of state the players are in. Now, with that said, we did get an indication the other day. The club released a little video of the internal game, that Everton played. Everton against Everton. Everton still managed to lose. Ha ha ha. Actually, in the footage that I did see, you know, some of the lads looked quite sharp. I thought that Dominic Calvert-Lewin looked quite sharp. Anthony Gordon was good from what I saw. I may be vindicated for my last video. And Tom Davies looked like he was up for it as well. Him putting in a pretty stonking challenge on Umar Niasse, which was quite funny. But overall, anyway, the players didn't look too sluggish. Michael Keane scored twice, 2 headers in that game as well. So that's a positive. But in terms of like an in-depth analysis of, you know, the state of Everton at the moment, I can't give you one. And nobody can, because none of us really know, bar Carlo Ancelotti. Only Carlo Ancelotti really knows how ready the lads are going to be for Sunday. But again, all that to one side, our record against Liverpool is utterly horrific. October 2010, you would have to go back in the history books to find the last time Everton beat Liverpool in the league. And that was that long ago. That was the same month that they pulled those 33 Chilean miners out of that mine in Chile. And I remember watching that, and I'm like, that seems like a lifetime ago. Some of you, many of you who watch this channel won't even know what I'm talking about. But it was quite a big news story at the time. And then I saw that was the same month, the last time we beat, same month of the same year, the last time we beat Liverpool. And it's like, oh my God, our record against them is utterly woeful. And I'm gutted the fact that, you know, we can't go and watch Everton in a derby on Sunday. And do you know what? If we lose this one, it might be one of the easiest derbies we've ever had to lose, because we can just chalk it off as it wasn't a real derby. And again, I keep on mentioning it, but I am utterly resentful of the fact that I can't go to watch my team play. That is that gives me the biggest amount of joy of being a football fan. So to have it taken away, and then for the game still to continue, I don't know, it still just doesn't feel right to me. But I will watch on Sunday with my dad. It's Father's Day, so hopefully Everton can give him a present on my behalf. But what do you think? Have you got that pre-derby optimism where you think this might be the one where we win? If so, let me know in the comments section below. As always, I will endeavour to respond to every single comment that I get. And as always, thank you for watching Grand Old Team. Thank you for giving us your time. I'm Adam Partington. You can find me on Instagram at @partadam. And do remember to like, subscribe and share. Take it easy. Up the toffees.